Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to draw simple cylinders and turn them into a celebration cake drawing. So a cylinder works in this way. So the top, is, let's look at the cylinder pencil sharpener that I have here. The top, it's actually a circle, but when you look across the circle, this weird thing happens. Do you see how it looks more like an oval? Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. So it's sort of an optical illusion that you have to create when you're drawing it. Instead of drawing the top as a circle, which we know it is, you draw it as an oval, which is what it looks like. So the top of your cylinder is always an oval. And if you have a hard time drawing a nice oval on the first try, one trick that I learned is if you go around and around and around with your hand. I'm going to go a little harder so you can see how not all of these are good. Oh, okay. So I'm going around and around and around and around. And eventually your hand kind of self-corrects and makes a nice oval in there somewhere. So what I can do is I can do this around and around very lightly, and then I can trace around the oval that looks the best and erase all the rest out of it. So the top is an oval. The two sides that wrap around, those sides are perfectly straight coming down. So I'm going to make two straight lines that come from my outermost points, and I can make it a tall cylinder or I can make it a short cylinder by how long I make this line. And then the bottom is parallel to the top. If you just look at this, it looks like they're parallel to each other. But to make it look like a cylinder, instead of drawing it straight, I'm going to try to make it a curve that matches the bottom of my oval. You can see how I noticed that wasn't quite going to work. So I can just erase that out. Now I recommend always drawing very lightly, because if you make a mistake then it's easy to erase. I'm drawing pretty dark because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So if I wanted to make a stack of cakes, let's say that this is the top tier, you always want to start with the top and work your way down. So my next oval is going to be a little bit bigger, and I'm very lightly sketching it in so you can see it's a nice light pencil mark, and then I'm going to trace just the part that comes around the front, and I see where I don't like that, so we're just going to fix that. It's okay. And then I can go in and erase out all my pencil marks. So I've got an oval that's a little bit bigger. I'm going to draw two straight lines that come down, and you can always use a ruler if you want to. I'm going to try to make it maybe just a little bit, let's make them about the same height. And now I can erase this extra length that I don't need. And then if I want to make another tier to make it really tall, I'm going to make a bigger oval. I'm going to go around the nicest oval that I can see in there. Okay. You can see I don't always do things perfect. My drawings come out looking nice in the end, but sometimes when you see them partway through you think, oof, that is a mess. Okay, so two straight lines coming down. I'm going to try to make it about the same height as my other tiers. And a curving line. Okay. Cool. So now I could go in and erase all those extra marks out of it. So I'm going to put it on top of something, right? So I could make it on top of a plate, which is just another big oval, which, I'm running out of room, but I think I have just enough space. Okay. Or I'm going to go back and clean that up. I could even make it, so if I want it to be a plate, I would just add another line coming around the front. Oh, it's getting a little bit too big, isn't it? Or if I want to be really fancy, I can make it a cake stand. I could put a little foot underneath it here. And then it looks like it's in a cake shop or for a party or something. So you just make it flat like that. I can make it curve a little bit. Okay, so now I've got my nice tall cake on a cake stand. I'm going to go in and tidy that drawing up. Now that we have my cake sketched out, we get to do the fun part. Now, let me just quickly tell you one thing. This is my practice drawing, so I can make as many mistakes as I need to on this. I can try everything out, and then when I'm finished, I have a nice drawing. Just let me show you that. I have my good one so that I can do a really nice, neat job on this one. So my first one is my sloppy copy where I'm learning how to do the techniques. And then my second one is where I can do my best work and do a really nice job. So now we get to frost the cake. So just keep in mind that anything that is sort of a stripe or a straight line needs to curve following the curves of your cylinders. So if I wanted to add just like a plain stripe, I could do that. One thing that's a little bit more forgiving is if you wanted to add something like polka dots or ovals, because it doesn't matter if those curve. I'm going to add some polka dots on mine. You can even make it look like there's more polka dots that you can't even see, so I'm going to draw some partial polka dots kind of going off the edge. I could do some things on top. I could add candles if I wanted to. I could add a big candle on top. I could add a bunch of candles, so you could make it the age you're going to be next. You just want to do a cylinder like you know how to do now. So you add the oval on top, two straight lines, curve on the bottom, and then you could even have it be lit if you wanted to. I'm going to go in and erase out that little extra bit so it looks like it's in front. You could even decorate your candle if you want to be really fancy. So I've got polka dots on this layer. I think maybe I'll do like a scalloped frosting on the edge. And I could kind of go like that so it's really thick, like a streamer kind of. If I wanted to add more of those, I could even go down and add more. Let's see, what do I like? I guess I could have also made that a little bit lower if I wanted to. You could add frosting flowers on top, or like a gift bow or something. There is like a million things you could do with this, guys. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I am gonna add some fruit because I just love cherries on my cake. I think cherries are the cutest. And they have a stem on top. I'm gonna make them go opposite directions. And then maybe I'll add some cherries around here. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm gonna add some more going around this way. And since the top layer had 3, I'm gonna add some extras as I keep going. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you hate cherries or you think they look dumb, you do not have to add cherries on your cake, friends. Okay, so I've got cherries, I've got stems. I could even add little leaves on there if I wanted to. I could decorate the plate. I could make that look a little bit fancier. Some of the fanciness is also going to come from how you decorate it too, right? So, I didn't do anything on the frosting on this one. I could do vertical stripes that would need to just go parallel to the sides, so straight up and down. So I've got stripes, I've got streamers, I've got dots. I think when I do this on my actual drawing on the next page, I'm going to make those streamers come down a little bit farther so that they fill more of that section. So how about this guy over here? I think I like the vertical stripes pretty good. So I could just add vertical stripes going around, and then I could add like a little ring of of frosting around the edge, like that. I could add a candle in the middle, right where that dot was. So there's all kinds of fun things. You can even look on Pinterest and find all kinds of cool cakes to maybe try and copy some of the ideas that they had, real life cakes. Or you could watch a show like The Great British Bake Off and see all the beautiful bakes they do on that show. That is such a fun show to watch, especially if you like pretty cakes. So now I'm going to go and draw my draft version onto my actual cake and trace over it. Alright, now I'm to the really fun part where I get to color in my picture. So I could use pretty much any kind of color medium that I want to. I could use paint. I could use acrylic paint or tempera paint or watercolor paint. I could use basically anything I have. I could use colored pencils. I even have these cool watercolor pencils where I could color it and then paint over it with some water. I have my regular colored pencils. I could use something kind of waxy, like either my crayons, or if you're fancy and have oil pastels, if I color with one of these, I could color in my picture, and then I could do the added fun thing of painting over the whole background with watercolor and doing a resist technique. I'm going to show you how to do the resist technique now. So I'm going to use my crayons, and you can see my crayons are a little bit beat up. I'm going to take them all out of the box so I can see what I've got. I'm going to color my whole picture in with crayons, and then I will show you how to do the resist technique next. So if you don't have watercolor paints or you don't want to paint over your drawing, when you're finished coloring, then that's the end of your project.